Developing right now on CBS News Miami, dramatic video as police swarm a Hialeah home overnight, firing shots and killing one man. From the area, you can see the large response after what police say started as a deadly stabbing spree. CBS News Miami's Morgan Reiner has been working the story since it broke early this morning. She's on the scene right now with what we're learning.
Hours later, and this scene is still very active. You can see it's still blocked off by this crime scene tape. You have cops and cruisers, investigators still walking around. That mobile command center is still at the end of the street. Now, in the last half hour, Hialeah police did confirm for me the relationship of the victims to the suspect. They said a man in his late 20s stabbed his sister, mother, and grandmother before police killed him. At 4:25 this morning, Hialeah police said they got a call about a domestic disturbance at this home on West 5th Court. When police arrived, they found 3 people stabbed.
A la madre, a la abuela.
Melba is a neighbor. She said a man in his 20s is the one that stabbed his mother, abuela, and sister that he was living with. Melba said he may have been dealing with mental health issues. The 17-year-old sister's girlfriend, who showed up here at the scene, told me the same story. When police arrived, they said the suspect was armed, there was a confrontation, and police opened fire, killing him. This is that moment. Immediately after, police are seen carrying several women out of the house, eventually putting them on stretchers when EMS arrived and transported them to Rider Trauma. But police said one of the stabbing victims died at the house.
Very bad. I'm so sad.
Gilberto Rodriguez is a close family friend, said he is shocked. He drove to the scene to try and get more information and see how he can help. Neighbors telling me nothing like this has ever happened here. Because we spoke to family and friends, we do have the names of the 4 people involved, but we are waiting for police to identify them. We are also hearing from the police association that represents one of the cops that fired his weapon. He said the suspect went after police with a knife too, and that's why they were forced to fire. Now, per policy, whenever there is an officer involved shooting, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement takes over the investigation.
And I'm George Estevez. We have a lot to get to here at 5 o'clock. Let's begin here. We know the identity now of a Carroll County Sheriff's deputy who was shot in the line of duty. Investigators say Deputy Taylor Bristow was shot while assisting the GBI in executing a search warrant this morning. The Sheriff's Office says Bristow was taken to Grady Memorial Hospital in critical, but we now know he's out of surgery. The shooting happened on Don Rich Drive.
And we have live Team 2 coverage from the scene where this all happened and at Grady Memorial Hospital. We begin with Channel 2's Michael Dowdna. He's live in downtown Carrollton. Michael, people there in the community are praying for that deputy.
They're praying for that deputy. Already you can start to see some signs of support. If you look over here, this counseling services, they actually put that flag up, the Thin Balloon Live flag up, this morning after they heard word of the news, as the community is already starting to rally together to support after another officer was shot.
There's just no words for what's going on today.
It's terrible. I mean, I honestly can't imagine what the family's going through.
It should have never happened.
The community of Carroll County reacting with sadness after Carroll County investigator Taylor Bristow was shot in the face while serving a search warrant.
The fact that he was just issuing a warrant like he was supposed to do in his line of duty.
The shooting comes just days after Paulding County Deputy Brandon Cunningham was shot and killed while responding to a domestic violence call, marking the 5th Georgia law enforcement officer to die in the line of duty this year.
And now that it's happened here in our town, our county, it's just unbelievable.
And right now, while investigator Bristow is fighting for his life at Grady Hospital, while community is praying for his recovery and for this violence to stop.
They're not alone, that I think we as the community are here for them.
Just pull through. Just pull through.
And you can bet the community is going to be there the entire time, and we will continue to update this story as we learn more. But for now, you can tell the community really just wants to see him pull through and to be back on the force, and they are thankful that he has spent his life dedicating it to protecting them. We're live in Carrollton. Michael Dowdna, Channel 2 Action News.
Turn now to a story that we've been following this afternoon, a shooting outside of the Hardin County Courthouse. Family members say a young mother feared for her life before being gunned down in the parking lot.
WDRB Stefan Johnson talked to family members about the warning signs that led to the shooting. Stefan?
Well, good afternoon, guys. According to police and family members, the victim was here to take out another emergency protective order against the suspect. In fact, we've just obtained a copy of the last one. We'll share some of that in just a moment. But today, she never made it inside the courthouse and was ambushed here in the parking lot outside the courthouse across the street.
He was circling the parking lot and I guess waiting for the people to get here. And when they got here, he got out of his car, shot them, got back in his car and left.
I just heard gunshots and I just heard a bunch of commotion over that way, but I didn't really think anything of it until I actually walked up and there was already cops assisting the situation and blocking everybody off.
Well, the shooting happened just before 9 o'clock this morning. Police say 37-year-old Erica Rowley came to the courthouse with her parents and 2 children. They were here because of an EPO against Christopher Elder. Police say Elder ambushed the family in the parking lot, killing Rowley and her mother and injuring her father. The children were not injured. Elder left the scene and led police on a chase into Hopkinsville, Kentucky, and eventually into the parking lot of a church. That's when police say he pointed a rifle at officers and then turned the gun on himself. Right now, he is in the hospital. Meanwhile, back here at the scene in Elizabethtown, the vehicle the victims came in was towed away, and a lot of witnesses are still in shock after what they saw and heard this morning.
It was very chaotic. Honestly, a lot of people posted the live on their Facebook as well with the dead body on the ground, and I do not believe that is the whole situation could have went a way different way.
We was walking from the back to the front, and we heard gunshots, like from 7 to 10 to maybe 12 gunshots. And so, you know, we came through here, and when we got out here, we seen the body laying. We seen another body laying.
Now, I've just obtained a copy of an EPO that was filed earlier this month that expired after 2 weeks. Apparently, this is why Rowley came to court to get an extension. I'll just read part of it. It says, Chris was talking nasty to my daughter, who's 14. When I defended her, he came out of the room. We got into a screaming match, and he punched me in the jaw twice. Meanwhile, a family member didn't want to go on camera, but said they had some pretty disturbing red flags at 6. You'll see one of the recent red flags, she says, caused her to think that Erica Rowley was in danger. With photojournalist Neil Johnson, I'm Stefan Johnson, WDRB News.
We're also learning new information this afternoon about an officer-involved shooting. It happened Sunday in Pilsen, in the 1800 block of South Blue Island Avenue. The Civilian Office of Police Accountability says it started when CPD officers in the area heard shots being fired. The officers found 2 people with guns and shot at them, hitting one of the offenders. That person, later identified as a juvenile, died at the hospital. This is still an active investigation into the officer's use of force.